Larry Gross here. Mountain Stage is the radio show, and if you don't hear it on your radio station, mountainstage.org is where you can hear the whole show as a podcast once it's broadcast on radio. And you're going to want to hear these two ladies. They are known as the Chapin sisters. That would be Abigail, and that would be Lily. And they have just made, well, I don't know, when was this record put out?
It just came out September 14th.
Okay, so we're talking in October. I thought it was just out. October 2010, and it's called Two, and I guess there could be more than one reason for that.
There are.
Because
There are two reasons for that.
perfect, even better, because
It's multifaceted.
yes, number one is there used to be three sisters, right?
Exactly.
On your first record, tell us about that.
Exactly. Our sister Jessica had a baby in the interim, and she decided that she couldn't be in a touring band and also be with her baby. So
Right, so she
left.
made the right choice.
She made the right choice.
She went state, which is and that I'm saying that I'm seriously saying that, but also because I know you guys are very family oriented. You grew up in music. Your dad has been on this show before, Tom Chapin. Your uncle was a big famous musician and singer and songwriter, and you guys probably have sung music from zero, right? I mean, so you just learned how to talk.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
At home, wherever.
At home.
School.
Back up seat of the car.
Yeah.
Wherever the radio or the record player was. Yeah.
You were never far from actual performance, if not in front of the
guess
public,
not.
at least.
Yeah.
In front of each other.
In front of each other. In front of our little boom box.
We made a lot of radio shows.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. We also had a rule that I thought was a normal rule, but I've recently, since telling friends about it, we had a rule that was no singing at the dinner table, but everyone laughs at us for that because that was never an issue, I guess, in other people's houses, but in ours we sang a lot, so
Yeah,
that was,
they had to put the kibosh
two.
on it at dinner. Yeah. No more singing.
My baby hates me, and it's nobody's fault but mine. He said he'd leave me, but he sure is taking his time.
Our dad made his first recording for kids. He was on a TV show called Make-A-Wish, which was aimed for young people, but that was before we were born. But his first children's and family recording was called Family Tree, and I was 6 and Abigail was 8, and we went to the studio and sang on that one, and then it just kind of was this thing we could do, and he had friends that were musicians, and whenever they needed kids, they would call us in.
Yeah. So you got used to actually singing in studios and microphones and all, which takes a little getting used to.
Yeah.
And then in school, did you begin? When did you become the idea that you would be the Chapin sisters? Was that much later?
That was much later. I mean, I guess it sort of started didn't really start us thinking that we were going to start a band, but that we were going to do just a couple recordings with Jessica and two of us, and it started kind of not as a joke, but we didn't think that anything was going to come of it, and so we didn't even name our band. That's why we're called the Chapin Sisters. We're like, well, that's who we are.
That's what, obviously everybody else said, oh, Chapin sisters are in there.
Yeah, so we recorded a few songs, and they were covers, and then it just it was really fun and easy to sing together, and one of the songs started getting played on the radio.
It was a Britney Spears song?
Yeah, it was a Britney Spears song, Toxic.
Yeah.
It started getting some radio play around LA, which we really didn't, we weren't even looking for or expecting. So when that happened, it just seemed like, the universe was telling us.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's
so
an
yeah.
omen, yeah.
Well, the windows are too thin to keep you in, to keep you in. But in case you haven't heard, I
grew up in New York area, and I know that we talked about the big influence. Your family has a farm in New Jersey, so you've had a lot of rural experience that a lot of people don't get if they grow up in New York City. And then you moved you live in California now?
Yeah.
And that's where you actually started your career.
Yeah.
And that's where Jessica lives also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're based out of there. And as you travel now doing all the work, is it just the two of you, or do you carry a band often, or how does that work?
Well, right now it's just the two of us, but we have a band that we, whenever possible, love to play with. It's right now it's really just for logistical reasons. It's
Yeah.
our first, you know,
Yeah.
It's kind of our first tour ever.
really long
This is
tour.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done a lot of touring, bits and pieces here and there. We just actually did a tour, a pretty long tour, opening for a band called She and Him,
Right.
and singing in their band. We've done tours, but this is our first tour where it's our tour. The shows have our name on the marquee, and we just thought, you know, this is going to be easiest if we just jump in a car and go, as opposed to gathering all the people. It becomes a bit more expensive.
Well, it is. I mean, it's more complicated and more expensive. And
Yeah.
if you have two people, you both can play and
Exponentially,
sing.
yeah.
Then you know that realistically speaking,
Yeah.
in the real world,
In the real
you have to
world.
think about that. I mean, if
We
you have a
would love
massive
to
hit
live
song, then you
in a
can do what you want and do that.
fantasy
Yeah,
land,
but
fantasy is more
yeah.
fun, but reality is what it is. So one day, hopefully, the fantasy will come to life.
Sweet light in the air, sweet, sweet light in the air. Well, the boys have grown and the fair maidens grow. We shall look for you there.
The future is what? I mean, is Jessica gonna stay in the background, or do you have any idea? You're just gonna work this until it's done?
Yeah, I think we're working this record for now, and we're working on songs for a new record. But I think she's pretty happy being at home with her baby, and but who knows? We're open to all different opportunities and seeing
Yeah,
where
the
it
Chapin
goes.
Sisters seems to be a bit of an expanding and contracting operation. So we have many different ways
It's
that we
flexible,
can do it.
which
Yeah.
is good. And yeah, I'm sure as you say, this one is just out, so you're not even thinking about the next one yet, or?
Well, we are. I mean, the funny thing about records is, as soon as you finish one, you want to
Sure.
get going in the next one, and they take a while to put out.
Yeah,
so.
by the time they come out, it's like we've known about this record for a year and a half or something. And
Yeah, it's always that way. You're
yeah.
tired of it by the time it's new to the public. You're tired of it. You've heard
So
enough of
I'm
it, but
like,
that's the way it
I
works.
never want to hear that song again.
I mean, we like playing the songs, but we're definitely writing new ones and excited, chomping at the bit to get back in the studio.
You're going to do on the show, or you're going to do old and new, or what?
Yeah,
We're doing a mix of songs from this album and then one song from our first album.
yeah,
but
3 songs from the new record,
Yeah.
one old song.
nothing new. We have to wait.
Everything is on.
We're
the
gonna have to wait
record.
till next
So
time.
if you want to find their schedule, it's where's your schedule? People want to go see you live.
You can find it on the chapinsisters.com,
Yep.
or we have a MySpace page and a Facebook page,
So-
which are just
Slash
the
the
Chapin
Chapin
Sisters,
Sisters.
and
Wow.
it's
Easy.
pretty easy to find.
Yeah, and you're playing probably club venues now. Is that what you're doing mostly?
Yeah,
And
and all over
colleges?
the country. So
Club
So-
venues and colleges will be on tour in December, early
Yeah.
December on the West Coast, and we've been doing October and November more East Coast and Midwest.
All right. Well, I'm really glad you guys came to visit us. Look forward to hearing you
Yeah,
today,
us
and
too.
everybody
Thanks for
does.
having us.
We're in the heart of West Virginia. We're out of our own home, so they're visiting us, and we're visiting West Virginia Wesleyan College in Buchanan, which is kind of in the center of West Virginia. Abigail Chapin, Lily Chapin, thanks very much.
Oh,
thanks
thank
for
you.
having us.